Cash pursed his lips while studying the chip selection at the grocery store in Last Chance Creek. What snack was most suitable for a 49-year-old man while binging the newest season of Heartstopper? Cash wasn't one to use his age as a reason to avoid many things, but he wasn't proud of his obsession with the series about queer teenagers and their first loves. Their vitality and innocence sometimes made him feel older than dirt, but mostly it made him grateful that a new generation could see themselves in the characters. It was unlikely Cash's life would have turned out differently if he'd had positive representation as a teen. He'd lost his mom to poverty and drugs and had gone to live with strangers at a time when he was figuring things out about himself. Cash hadn't felt comfortable coming out or letting others in until he was 30. He'd rebuilt his life from the ashes of his past and had been tired of living a lie. The penniless dirt track racer had to pretend, but the successful technology inventor did not. Cash had thought his newly gained wealth would insulate him from scrutiny and scorn, but it only perpetuated the narrative that he was an outsider who didn't belong. But those closed doors and snubs didn't deter him. They fueled the perpetual fire in his soul and made him richer. He couldn't think of a single hard knock he'd change because they'd all led him to this point. Well, maybe not to standing in a grocery store staring at the same bag of Fritos for a solid 10 minutes. He meant his ranch, his people, and the journey he'd taken to have them in his life. Contentment didn't negate his few regrets or warm his bed, but the one man who could fix both problems was across the country. Who the hell was he kidding? It wouldn't have mattered if Nick was at Quantico, on Mars, or standing beside Cash. He was off limits. Cash just needed to convince his foolish heart of that fact, a feat he hadn't accomplished in 12 years. But had he really tried that hard? A warm, masculine chuckle invaded his thoughts, and Cash jerked his head to find Seth Burke approaching him. He bit back a snort. Burke didn't approach. He swaggered with big dick energy. The sheriff was a good 5 inches taller, a few years younger, and had the persistence of a bloodhound when it came to Cash. Burke's uniform consisted of a pressed khaki shirt, dark denim jeans, boots, and a white Stetson hat. Cash wasn't sure what shone brighter in the store's overhead lights, the shiny sheriff's star pinned to Burke's shirt, or his white, toothy grin. Damn, but the man was fine as hell, with jet-black hair, gray eyes, and sun-kissed skin. No matter the time of day, that superhero's square jaw was clean-shaven to show off his magnificent bone structure. Why the hell couldn't Cash return the man's interest?